So before we dive right in, let me give you guys a quick introduction to what parallel testing is and why it is so beneficial. Now, let's imagine this red line is a test. Okay, it's an automated functional test that you wrote. And let's imagine that you have many of these tests. Okay, so each one of these is a test. And all of these tests combined are a test suite. Okay, this is a test suite that you need to run on a regular basis. A standard approach to doing this would be to take this test suite, put it into some build system, maybe like, I don't know, some kind of a build system. That's a build system. And it's going to run one test at a time and then give you an output. And then it's going to run another test and it's going to give you another output. Okay, results, whatever. Then it's going to run another test and that's going to give you a third output. So all of these tests, they take a pretty long time to run. Why? Because every test is in addition to the entire sum of the length of the test suite that it takes to run. So for example, if this takes 1 minute to run, this takes 2 minutes to run, and this takes 1 minute and 15 seconds to run, the total amount of time required for your test suite to run is 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And the more tests you continue to add to this, the longer this time gets. And at some point, this becomes into hours or possibly even days of running test suites, which is not realistic at all. Imagine if you had to wait for days for your results after a code change to figure out what's going on with that actual code. That's where parallel testing comes into play. Instead of a sequential run order that's standard, we can execute these tests their own VMs or their own servers so that they can run in parallel. So rather than putting it all into a single build system, each one can have its own process on which it runs, and together they can all output the results as soon as the test is done. And this is very advantageous because as opposed to running a test one by one, we can run all of the tests together at the same time, depending on your resources, right? If you're running it locally, you can only run so many tests at once, maybe, I don't know, 10. If you're running it in somewhere like the cloud, you can run like 100 or 1,000 tests at once. And at that point, your entire test suite runtime will only be as long as your slowest test, right? If this test takes 3 minutes and this one takes 1 minute and another one takes 2 minutes, all three of these tests are going to run, all three of these tests are going to run in 3 minutes because that's how long it took for this test to run. These tests will be finished before, but this one will continue to be running. And in fact, if these are finished before, you can probably insert another test into here and utilize all of those processes very efficiently. So you can see how our test suite time can be significantly decreased, where here, as opposed to running in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, it would be down to 2 minutes, over a 100% efficiency savings just with these 3 tests. And if there were much more, it would be magnitudes faster. And that's why people love automated software testing using parallel testing methods. And that's why I want to teach you guys how to do that. It's a huge return on investment for your company, and it helps to get you a faster feedback from your automated software tests. And that faster feedback allows you to take action on your development faster, which is something that the entire industry is always striving towards.